Welcome to UniqueCreatives ChCh. 48 projects, 20 minutes, 6 questions, 1 city. A special interview series documenting the range and quality of creative projects taking place in post-quake Christchurch. Cool, I've got Claire Baker here, who's an incredible artist living in Christchurch with the UniqueCreatives in the Loop project. We've got 48 projects, 20 minutes, 6 questions and 1 city. Start us off, Claire. What is a project that you are working on?
Well, I'm working on a mobile app to help develop audiences for public art galleries, and it started way back, 2014, August, Wellington Startup Weekend. I was living in Wellington at the time. If you've never been to a startup weekend, I recommend it. It kind of increased my confidence, 100%. It was great. I went along and I pitched my idea for an app that would be engaging to people that want to go to art galleries but kind of feel a bit scared to, and then had no expectations after that pitch to the crowd, and managed to get a team on board to work with me for the weekend. So all of a sudden I was leading this team of 4 people who were developers and designers and marketing people. Yeah, it was really fantastic. So this is carried on.
With that team? Actually, it's a good question. Initially it was two guys from that team, and it's evolved, and then we got a new designer on board because we didn't have a designer, and now it's me and him. So me and Sam. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so he's developing it as part of his honours design year at Massey University in Wellington at the moment. So.
Does that make things difficult being in 2 different locations?
I just call him up, like 10 p.m. on a Monday or whatever, and we Skype, and his family's here in Christchurch. He comes down quite a lot, so, and he's going to move down here at the end of the year, so then we can really kind of nut it out a bit easier. But
so tell us, can you go into a bit more detail about how it works, or how it, or is that not public information? Just figuring that out.
Yeah, that's right. Sam is figuring that out, but we want it to be a really fun app for the public. It's about the people out there that don't feel comfortable going to public art galleries. Public art galleries are publicly funded institutions, and it's pretty insane, the kind of minor audience that goes generally. Educated, middle to upper class, white, and often female. So it's really helping to broaden that. The aim is that through the app you can give feedback about your experience of the art in a really fun way, and share that with your friends on social media. And it's a crowdsourced marketing style of encouraging your friends to come along and check out the art with you. So yeah, focused on people. Wow. rather than galleries. But we have talked to public art galleries about the idea, and they're really interested. But they've got their own mandate too in it, so it's yeah.
So you have a pilot in Christchurch?
Yeah, I hope so. That would be awesome. Yeah.
So what is it? I mean, there's a few things there that I can see you're excited about it, which is cool. It sounds really great. But what inspires you about the app?
Well, I'm just really passionate about breaking down those barriers for people who are intimidated by public art galleries. I did a thesis as part of my Master of Museum and Heritage Studies looking at social inclusion in public art galleries, and I didn't expect to study that really in my Masters. I've got a background in social work and really interested in art and practice art as well, and I just thought, wow, these things combine really nicely. And I found this book called The Social Work of Museums. I thought, wow, great, I'm supposed to be here in this doing this Masters. So I think, yeah, so from that research and my experience doing internships in public art galleries, and now working in Christchurch for a gallery, yeah, it's weird how much of a new innovative thing it is to think beyond your typical audience. It's hard for public art galleries, especially contemporary art galleries. It's a challenge. Yeah. But yeah,
You're
I think
taking it.
my what I want to do in life is really just make a dent in that and help to improve it in some way.
Wow, it sounds like you're definitely doing it already, and the app's really innovative too, and good on you for going into a field that, if you haven't done computers and technology and things like that, like it sounds before, you're jumping in there to get into that and lead a team at Startup Weekend, and then keep it going. That's really awesome. High five.
Thanks, Nick.
You touched as well on your art practice. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you get up to?
Yeah, I'd love to. Actually, it's been really fantastic moving to Christchurch, I feel, and this might touch on a future question that you have, Nick.
Yeah.
Opportunities for emerging artists. I would say I'm very emerging. I don't have any formal art training, and recently got really interested in performance art. And there's a big performance art scene in Christchurch. I met some fantastic artists, Gabby Montejo, Audrey Baldwin, and others. And Gabby, invited me to be part of the Social, which is an artist collective here in Christchurch, which was set up in 2011. And that he asked me to be part of it because I went round to his house for Cuban beans, and because he's Cuban, and I was telling him about an idea I had for a project, which was involving dance and painting, two of my favourite things to do. And he said, "Oh, great! Well, come along and be part of the Social. We've got this exhibition at the Exchange on the 1st of April." And I said, "Well, that's 2 weeks away." Oh my gosh! So I committed to that, and as it tends to happen, my idea changed. I got scared about not being prepared enough in terms of the dance. I thought, this is a little ambitious right now. I want to keep learning contemporary dance and other dance forms before I get out there. So I got a bath off Trade Me and spent an hour and a half in the bath breathing, and it got quite cold. The idea came from me thinking about my age, thinking about being a woman, themes of motherhood and fertility and sustainability. I'm a bit of a greenie, and sustenance for humans and the planet, and how these two things really interrelate. And we need the planet. We need the planet to be healthy in order to produce healthy children, etc. So I was having a relaxing bath in my flat one night, and as you do, started just blowing bubbles in the bath and breathing. And I did it for half an hour as it just felt really good. It was really meditative. And then I came up, I thought, gosh, this reminds me of like a fetus, like I'm in this bath, like it's a cocoon, a womb, and the breathing, it's really laboured when you just, ongoing. So then I thought, right, that's what I'm going to do, and it brought the things that were kind of forefront of my mind together, and that was part one of this series, Feed Us Our Future, which is a play on fetus, our future.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. The way that your mind has worked and merged those things together is phenomenal. I really admire that you've been able to do it and to do it in 2 weeks. Let's put that together. We look forward to seeing what you come up with next in part 2. Or the next phase as we go on.
Me too.
That sounds exciting. It sounds like you're exploring a few as dance as well. So you started getting toe off track, and that's fine because I'm interested in you as a unique creative, and you're starting painting, you've started doing performance art, and you're doing dancing, and you're just creative all over. Do you have anything in any of those that you really, really love, more than the others? Terrible question.
I think if I was given a room and just was told, go for it with paint, That would be my preference. Yeah, and just get really big and bold with colour, and use my body to. So it would be both. It would be, you know, really using my arms and my legs to paint a space would be like my dream come true.
Wow. I love creative people. Okay, so how would you like to see, back to the app, and you did sort of touch on that your Sam is moving down later in the year and you're working with him at the moment, but how else would you like to see it sort of come to fruition and actually evolve? What's that going to take?
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to require a developer to work with us to code the app and make sure it works really well. We'll need, you know, marketing support. I work full time, so I can't give all my energy to this, but I still really want to co-direct it part time. What I really want to come out of this is for people to use the app when it's created, and for them to go to public art galleries and start to feel more comfortable with them, because they're going together socially, you know, as a group, and then their friend who goes normally, you know, takes them along, and it kind of gets bigger like that. And then I also want galleries to start questioning, you know, their practice more, and you know, to notice the app and how it works, and how maybe, if, you know, I'm hoping it'll be successful, that how they could maybe learn from some of the design and way of communicating through the app. Public art galleries often use quite academic language, and that's quite a barrier. Or people feel, I don't understand it, and they think they need to know what to think, and it's really uncomfortable. I think just helping to communicate that, you know, you don't need to actually understand anything in particular, as a bit of a, yeah, that would be good.
Appreciation.
Yeah, but also galleries understanding that they need to give out enough information for people to feel comfortable. So it's that balance, really.
Intermediate.
Yeah.
Is there anyone around the world that you've been looking at as well that is participating in that area at all?
Yeah, definitely. The Baltimore Art Museum in the States. I mean, they've picked up Story, that app, which was designed in Wellington, and they're piloting new developments on that app, which gives audiences the opportunity to record their experience, just with audio, and take photos, and for that feedback to go on the website. I mean, it's really beginner, really kind of new stuff. So yeah, watch this space and see if that kind of takes off here. I think New Zealand struggles to pick up on new technology until internationally it's kind of grown. Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a trend. So little old New Zealand.
Good on you for paving it as well with this app. I just love your thinking. What's the earliest memory of being connected to, I guess, this form of creativity being technology and mobile? Or you can choose to talk about any of your painting.
Well, the funny thing is, Nick...
Wonderful genius creative.
Yeah, I was always... I wasn't brought up in a really tech-savvy family. My brother was really into computers, so I used to play SimCity in the weekends when I was 11, and, you know, Lemmings, and I think that, I mean...
We've come a long way.
In terms of, yeah, Lemmings was awesome. And Carmen Sandiego, who remembers that one?
Yes.
Yeah, computer games. I'm not a gamer, but definitely as a teenager I was right into it. But I was pretty scared of technology, actually. Like, I was never an early adopter. So this has really surprised me and challenged me. But I've grown through it by just having to learn and problem solve and talk to people and get information. I think it's been really helpful for my other areas of professional development, just to be able to go, let's just work on this and figure it out, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you moved to Christchurch, so something exciting brought you here. What do you think the arts and creativity are bringing generally to Christchurch at the moment?
Opportunities to rethink how we are creative, and so there's a few examples there. There's new organisations that have started up, which we're all familiar with, like Life in Vacant Spaces and Gap Filler, and you know they really challenge how organisations run, as well as they facilitate new projects, so they really help others to be creative in different ways in different spaces. And then there's the opportunities for people like me, emerging artists, to really get involved and participate in group projects like the social. And I never would have had that opportunity, to just go and exhibit with a group that I, hardly knew. I wouldn't have had that opportunity in Wellington. It would have been, what are your credentials, and how long have you been practicing? And it was just welcome in, cool, you got some stuff to show, go for it, which I really loved. So I think that inclusion here in Christchurch is really strong in the creative world. Thank you.
Thank you for coming and being part of it. That's what this is all about as well, in the loop. So one question there, who would you like to interview, and what would you ask them if given any opportunity?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about ChCh lately. So if you're not sure, she was born in 1847 and died in 1934, and she got the vote for women. New Zealand was the first country in the world to get that. And I mean, I've been thinking a lot about gender equality lately, and so she came to my mind. There's also a show in the Arts Fest about her, which is cool. So I would ask her, how did you retain the strength to keep challenging to make such significant change? Through those years of challenging huge societal norms, it blows my mind. I just love to know how she kept on going through that, and because she must have been knocked back so much. So I'd just love to meet her. And then I would ask her two questions, that one, and then I'd say, I'd bring her into the present and say, men and women still don't have equal opportunities in the world. And New Zealand, is so much better than other developing countries, but we've still got a long way to go. And I just ask her what her tips are. What can we do as women? I know that we have, we need to change our way of thinking too. Men, government, community. That's a huge question, but I'd love to know her opinion on that.
Yeah. You have some that's a great person to want to interview. You have some really cool influences, I think, for your creative practice. So you think about a lot of different things, and I just wondered, where's your source of information? Or is there anything in particular that inspires your creativity?
Nature.
Nature?
Yeah. If I don't get out amongst some green trees, ideally native trees, native bush, if I don't do that for a couple of weeks, I go a little crazy. And sometimes I don't remember that I haven't done that, and then when I do, just go for a run up on the Port Hills and the trees, I feel so much better, so much clearer, and that's where I can think creatively. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm going to ask you, what's one piece of advice for any other creative practitioners that might be holding on to something that they've been working away at, or need some support with, or have an idea they want to test? Since you've been all guns blazing and just going for it, and I think you and ChCh have got a lot in common by the sounds of things.
Yeah, I'd say
it's really awesome.
Just put it out there. Talk to people about it, because you'll get opportunities to realise that project. But be careful, because if you go guns blazing 24/7, you'll get tired. So I would say, go for it, but also be nice to yourself and rest. You can't be going, wah, all the time. Yeah, speaking from experience. So.
Well, your energy and passion for all creative areas and disciplines is pretty overwhelming, and it is really, really cool. So I wish you the best with the app, and we'll be watching this space to see how you transform public art galleries and their systems and challenge all sorts of societal norms with your creative works that are going to be and already are pretty phenomenal and pretty spectacular. So keep it up, and thank you so much for spending the time with us. And this has been In the Loop with Claire Baker, and it's the Unique Creative series. So 48 projects, 20 minutes, 6 questions, 1 city. Thank you.
Kia ora.